Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Wednesday, 14th August 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. St. Lucia's Deputy Prime Minister and opposition leader clashed at chamber event. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. On Monday, St. Lucia's Investment Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire addressed concerns about the Citizenship by Investment program to the business community of St. Lucia. Although not attending in his capacity as leader of the opposition, Alan Chastanet denounced claims made by Dr. Hilaire about the CIP program. Meanwhile, members of the business community are calling for both the opposition and government to collaborate more and have conversations on such matters.
The St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture held a luncheon at which Investment Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire addressed concerns from the business community regarding the nation's Citizenship by Investment program. During his presentation, Dr. Hilaire sought to explain the CIP program and how it works to members. He accused MSR Media CEO Philippe Martinez and opposition leader Alan Chastanet of conspiring for personal and political gains whilst damaging the reputation of the country and its CIP program.
I want to respond to the repeated claim made by Martinez and the opposition that there is a CIP scandal and that more than $1 billion is missing and should be returned to St. Lucia. You would recall that I explained that in the real estate option, the minimum investment amount is paid and belongs to the developer. This money is never that of the state and cannot be claimed as such. What belongs to the state is the administrative fees that are paid. So the claim by Martinez and the opposition is that Galaxy got 6,000 shares and at 200,000 K minimum investment, then that's 1.2 billion. And that money should belong to the government and not the developer. This is wrong on all counts.
Leader of the opposition, Alan Chastanet, attended the luncheon. Although acknowledging that he was not attending in his capacity as opposition leader, Chastanet sought to rebut some of the claims made by Dr. Hilaire. Chastanet accused Dr. Hilaire of turning the forum into a political platform. He says the opposition and Martinez are not in any collusion, claiming that he only knew of Martinez after he filed a RICO lawsuit, which brought the island CIP under scrutiny amid claims of impropriety. He also questioned Dr. Hilaire on several points made during his presentation.
I outlined all the steps that have to be followed by an applicant. When the applicant completes all the due diligence, all the processes, he is then asked to make his investment. I think I explained that clearly. I don't know how much better can I explain that. I believe, and I also explained to you, there are three options. 3.5 million single investor, 6 million a joint venture of 6, and a firm and 240 for a formula free investing in a project. No, it was never there before. It was never there. On December 20th, 2023, it was gazetted that there is a new option.
Dr. Hilaire called into question whether or not the leader of the opposition should be in attendance during his presentation or be allowed to ask questions or accuse him of lying. However, several members of the chamber suggested that both the government and the opposition have their own forum outside Parliament where they can productively deliberate on such matters.
You made a point about the opposition and government. Of course, that's the ideal. And of course, that's what we would want, to reduce the divisiveness that exists in the society. But just take an example like today. I mean, think deeply about it. I am making a presentation as minister. Should the leader of opposition be present here today and to be asking questions and to say that I'm a liar, I lied, whatnot? How does that kind of behavior engender any willingness and sincerity in any dialogue? Dialogue must be on the basis that I believe you are sincere, even if I disagree with you.
Alan Chasney says that the opposition is open to having fact-based conversations with the government or anybody interested in the CIP program. For the DBS News World, Miriam Montoot reporting.
New rules intended to move cases through the judicial system quickly will be in place by the end of September in Barbados. This is according to Attorney General Dale Marshall, who says the proposed changes to criminal procedures have been sent to stakeholders to be reviewed. He made the announcement on the sidelines of a CARICOM Impacts Crime Gun Intelligence Unit meeting. Mr. Marshall adds, due to government's decision to increase the number of judges on the bench, the criminal justice system has disposed of 584 cases over the last 18 months. He says while 67 of them were for murder, dealing with such a significant number of cases must be seen as a phenomenal accomplishment. More in this CBC News item.
The criminal procedure rules have been with the bar since May. It is going to be vital for all of the participants, all of the stakeholders to know what the proposed rules will be. They've also been with the commissioner, they've also been with the office of the DPP. So all the stakeholders have had them since May and invited to return with comments by mid-August. We are now going to be having a symposium again with all of the stakeholders, so we actually go through the rules with everybody. If there are issues, we flag them then. If there are things that we can do better, we take into account the experience of the judges, the experience of the lawyers. The new initiatives that we've put in place, the plea bargaining legislation, which will allow people to enter an early plea or negotiate a plea and sentence with the DPP, is also going to help us to move things through quickly. The judge alone trial, we have to see if there's going to be any take up on that. We haven't seen any yet, but it's still early days. But the ability to do a trial in the absence of a jury, that will also cut down on time. So there are a whole variety of things that we're putting in place.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Over in Jamaica, the National Commercial Bank NCB Financial Group made a higher profit of $7.39 billion Jamaica dollars in the third quarter ended June 2024.
In the comparative period ended June last year, NCBFG made $4.87 billion. Speaking at the company's investor briefing Friday morning, Chief Financial Officer of the group, Malcolm Sadler, says this supported an increase in the 9-month post-tax earnings at June.
Of $21.1 billion for the 9 months ended June 2024, representing a 79% or $9.3 billion increase over the prior year.
The group also posted higher operating income of $28.93 billion in the quarter. That's compared to $28.29 billion made in the similar period last year.
Operating income of $94.2 billion increased by 12% or $9.9 billion. This was largely due to higher operating profits from 4 of the 7 business segments, with the life, health, and pension segment accounting for the largest increase.
A 16-year-old boy and mother of a 2-year-old girl are among 3 people killed by police on Sunday morning. Relatives of 2 of the deceased are denying that they were involved in criminal activities and are demanding justice. CNC3's Jensen Lavend reports.
Amir Bissoon relatives have no faith that an investigation into his death will result in charges laid against the police officers who killed him and 2 others. Officers said around 4:40 a.m. they received a report of a car with guns in it along the Caroni-Savannah Road. A jeepload of officers spotted the car near the Caroni cremation site. They say the car slammed into them and someone inside opened fire. They returned fire, killing Bissoon and his friends Gaia Barrett and Joseph Ramjit. Police say all 3 were members and affiliates of the resistance gang. A Glock pistol was recovered. At the family's Dukising Street St. Augustine home, Bissoon's mother, Sunita, who did not want her face shown, said the allegations her son is a gangster is hurtful. And while Police Complaints Authority Deputy Chairman confirms an investigator has been assigned, that has offered her no comfort.
Police always for police. I don't see nothing coming out of this. That story they run with this morning, all that lies they tell the media, whoever they tell, nothing gonna come out of it.
Relatives say Bissoon was threatened twice by one of the officers who was at the scene of his killing.
They always say they hear anything about my son, but thing with son, I'll never get no evidence, never get see nothing, I'll never understand. So whoever they hear on, based on what they hear and them say and they say.
A house away from the Bissoons, Gaia's mother recalled the last conversation she had with her child.
She said, I'm coming home just now and leave it open. And with that, never. That's the last time she talk. That's the last time I hear from my child alive. Because next morning about 4:30, we get a message that how the police and them shoot up the car.
Relatives of both say if the police really wanted to investigate the matter, they can visit the bar the trio were liming before their deaths and review the footage. They claim it will show the officers following Bissoon, who was among a convoy of 3 cars, before the 2 were turned away by police moments before the alleged shootout. Barrett says her plans to celebrate her 60th birthday on Friday will be replaced with funeral arrangement for her daughter. Jensen Lavend, CNC3 News.
Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro issued a 10-day ban on social media platform X in the country, saying it had been used to incite violence following the country's presidential election. More in this Reuters news item.
This comes after the country's electoral authority proclaimed Maduro winner of the July 28th presidential election, although it has yet to produce tallies proving he'd won what they say was 51% of the vote. He earlier criticized platform owner Elon Musk on state TV.
Elon Musk is the owner of X and has violated all the rules of the social network Twitter itself, today known as X. He has violated the rules by inciting hatred, fascism, civil war, death, confrontation of Venezuelans, and has violated all Venezuelan laws.
Get up! Get up, Elon Musk! Get up! The quarrel between Maduro and Musk has grown since the vote. Maduro blames the owner of X for being the driving force behind post-election protests and dissent, while Musk has compared the Venezuelan president to a donkey, and both of them have offered and accepted challenges to fight each other in comments on X and on Venezuelan state television. The ban is another big swipe at big tech from Maduro this week, after he urged supporters to ditch WhatsApp in favor of Telegram or WeChat. He claimed WhatsApp was being used to threaten the families of soldiers and police officers. Meanwhile, on Thursday, foreign ministers of Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia repeated their calls for Venezuela's electoral body to release polling records for last month's disputed election. The US, Argentina, and Chile have refused to recognize Maduro's claimed victory.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.